A spaghetti spoon, a hairdryer, a leaf blower. What all the three of these things have in common? Well, they're things that we have around the house, and they're all things that we can use in our spring cleaning routines. Today, Tip Man Tim Thompson tells us how.
She entertained us for years on Saturday Night Live. Now she's looking for America's biggest headache. Coming up, how you can participate in the search.
Some days it can seem like here a pothole, there a pothole, everywhere a pothole. Those bumps and dips can cost us hundreds of dollars. Why they form and what you should do if you hit one, and how you can tell if you're covered.
Have an unused bike lying around the house that you're looking to get rid of? Well, you can actually donate it and in the process help someone somewhere in the world. We'll have the details coming up.
And for the brides-to-be, what you wear under your gown could be just as important as the gown itself. We have some groom-approved ideas.
And you think you know how to pick a crab, do you? Well, the Red Roost is going to show us in our kitchen how to perfectly pick that Delmarva delicacy. Delmarva Life starts right now.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Lisa Bryant.
I'm Jimmy Hopple. Welcome to Delmarva Live from Historic Studio D.
Another hot one on Delmarva.
Oh, my goodness.
Had to break down and turn on the air conditioner this morning.
I got away with it last night.
Yeah.
Had the windows open. Had to wrestle with Zach over the thermostat. I said, nope, not yet. And I couldn't avoid it today.
Yeah. When it gets above 80.
That's pretty much.
And add to that, we have all the pollen still in the air and everything. I slept with my windows open. Not a good idea.
That's not good. So sorry, had to turn on the air conditioner today. Yeah. You remember we were talking about the cicadas?
Yeah.
Yesterday? Had something interesting pop up this morning, and that's one of our hot topics today. We're talking about this being the year for the 17-year cicadas on the East Coast.
Right.
There's the ugly little bugger right there. Well, apparently that's going to be almost everywhere except right here on Delmarva. Take a look at these maps that we've got. From North Carolina to New York, cicadas are expected to emerge as soon as the ground warms up to about 64 degrees. You see, everything's on the western shore there. Depending on the area, that could happen within a week or a month. Take a look at this. It's all to the northwest of us. This is from a completely different source. It's probably not actually going to happen here on Delmarva. The cherry that's just. Here's a third map that shows you everything's going to be like up in New Jersey and over on the western shore. And you were saying the last time around.
I don't remember them being here because I remember we were back home in West Virginia and my oldest son was very little at the time and they had them there and he actually brought one home to show to his preschool class for show and tell.
Look at this.
You guys know what this is?
so it's, we were telling you about, what was the number we had yesterday? A billion of them?
A billion.
In an acre. So. Gosh, if you want to enjoy that, you'll have to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And if you love cherry blossoms, you want to go to D.C. They finally made their appearance there.
Yep.
They are now considered in peak bloom, which could go on for the next couple of weeks. Yay, I want to get out there. The cherry blossom trees were planted in 1912 as a gift from the Japanese government. And it's worth a drive over to D.C. to get a look at them.
And I think what they say is the official number is when 70% of the tree is in bloom. They call that the official.
Oh, is that the official peak?
In bloom, the peak.
The peak season?
Absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
We were talking about this all this time, and finally it looks like it got us. The sequestration finally got around to the Blue Angels aerobatic team. U.S. Navy's cancellation because of the automatic federal budget cuts means that they will not be able to perform not only at the Navy's graduation in Annapolis, but they're not coming to Ocean City either. Now, the thing is, the OC Air Show is still going on in June, and they're talking about replacing, obviously, them with somebody else. They're not saying yet who, but they are saying that they'll feature 3 of the top civilian aerial performers in the United States in place of the Blue Angels.
Yeah.
So as of right
now,
now,
still a great show.
Great show, awesome show. They've canceled the rest of their shows for the rest of this year. The pilots are still going to be flying the minimums to stay familiar with the FA-18. No more group practices though. So the sequestration got to them as well as the Thunderbirds. They're shut down as well.
Oh. So. You see in the summertime there's all kinds of eating contests, like hot dog eating contests, things like that. And when you see them reported on the news, you most likely have seen this tiny lady who is always a winner.
Right.
You know who I'm talking about?
Black Widow.
The Black Widow.
Right.
Oh, guess what? She's coming to Delmarva. Major League Eating's #1 ranked male and female eaters, Joey Chestnut and Sonia the Black Widow Thomas, will compete in the Eastern Shore Wing War during the Pork in the Park Barbecue Festival at Winter Place Park in Salisbury. So you get to see them. They will have 12 minutes to eat as many wings as they can.
See, I personally am not really worried about eating them as fast as I can.
Yeah?
I just like to eat them.
You just like to eat them.
Enjoy them.
Well, Pork in the Park, the admission is only $5 each day, and children younger than 12 are free. There is free parking, and it's not this weekend, but next weekend. Right. Always a fun time there at Winter Place Park.
Good time to be had. Tell me more about the March of Dimes, March for Babies coming up.
Okay, another thing, that same weekend,
right.
The 21st, I am the chairperson for the Eastern Shore March of Dimes, or March of Dimes Eastern Shore chapter, and we are doing March for Babies in Salisbury on the 21st, and we want you to join our team. WBOC has a team, and we already have some folks on it from the station. Some people are going to get out there and walk that easy 5 miles. We're not running it, and we want you to join our team, and here's how you do it. Go to our website. You'll find a link to the team website, and this is where you can sign up for the team. If you can't walk with us, if you're busy that weekend, or you don't think that you can do it, help us out by donating to our team, and you can do it on that very same page. We want to raise money so that we can ensure that every baby born in the future is a healthy baby. And of course, to find our team website, go to delmarvalife.com.
Now, if I work this out right, I could have wings and then come walk it off.
There you go. That's a wonderful. And you know what? You should take pledges for every wing you eat.
Every wing, I'll pay for it, then you pay me, and I pay them. See?
It all works.
It all works
Pay it
out.
Forward.
There's something going on in Ocean City. There's a private group that's wanting to bring a long-distance swim to Ocean City, of course, just off the beach, as a fundraiser for brain trauma research. Wonderful idea. The only problem at this point appears to be that the initial date that they're wanting to do was in July.
Right.
And they're saying, the town commissioners are saying that, we've already got 250,000 people on the beach, and now you want us to bring in another EMT and more lifeguards for the swim Ocean City. And they're just really not sure
they're not comfortable with having that.
They can do that right, because they got a lot to do already in another group. So what they're saying is, maybe move it to September.
Yeah.
They're not pushing the deal off at all. I mean, completely. They're just saying, let's maybe consider moving this to September when there's not as many people, the hotels aren't as expensive, and maybe we can do that. So we'll find out. What
do they consider a long swim? Because I consider, like, across the pool.
Yeah.
Long.
No, I think it's longer.
Longer than that?
Than that.
Yeah.
I'm with you, though,
Yeah.
across the tub, and I'm about done.
You must have a big tub.
Not really. They're looking at starting construction for the 3rd phase of the Veterans Memorial in Ocean Pines. It's something just outside the south gates of the Pines there. They're going to add 3 more flagpoles, and they're going to put a gravel walkway with informational plaques. 14 of them, I think. It's going to cost about $30,000. It's going to describe the various conflicts and wars over the country's history, something that should be great to walk the kids through. This is going to be an awesome thing. They're going to start that. It costs about $30,000. They've already raised the money.
Yeah.
Take a couple months to get it done, but it's going to be great.
Hopefully done in time for Memorial Day.
That would be wonderful.
Yes, it would.
That would be awesome.
Well, do you have any unused bikes sitting in your garage, shed, or in your basement? I know I do. If you want to get rid of them, we have the answer. Instead of throwing them away, how about donating them?
Bikes for the World is an organization based in Virginia collecting bikes and sending them throughout the globe to the people who don't have or can't afford transportation. And Delmarva Life's Brian Spiros is in Easton this afternoon telling us more about how we can donate bikes to the cause.
Well, Jimmy and Lisa, if people wish to donate bikes, they'll be able to do so in 11 days here in Easton, and we'll get to those details in just a moment. And actually, what's interesting to note is that all of the bikes collected here in Easton will actually be sent to the African nation of Ghana. And joining me now is Anna Harding, who is a volunteer for Bikes for the World. First thing, Anna, for people who may not be familiar, tell us a little bit about this organization.
Brian, Bikes for the World is a nonprofit humanitarian organization that began in 1999. And at this point, we're sending bicycles to 17 countries around the world.
Countries that many of these people don't have modes of transportation to get around, to go to work, and these are both kids all the way up to adults.
Yes, they are. These bicycles will serve laborers and students and teachers and medical workers who cannot reach some of these outlying areas in some of these countries that are really have no transportation systems in place.
And we should mention that Bikes for the World, in all the years they've been doing this, has sent nearly 74,000 bikes around the world. That's so impressive. How did you get involved with all of this?
I read a story in National Geographic about the man who began this as a Peace Corps volunteer in Ecuador. He saw the difference one bicycle made in the life of a whole community. He came back and began collecting bikes to send to Ecuador, and those were the seeds that were sown that began this whole organization.
And then now obviously here you are taking part in all of this. On April 21st in Easton, you guys are going to be collecting bikes. Anyone from the Delmarva Peninsula can come to Easton to drop off the bikes. We'll talk about where in just a moment. What are you guys looking for? What can people donate?
They can donate both adult and children's bicycles. Hopefully the bikes are in good enough working order that they can be rehabilitated in these little service areas in the countries that receive them. So if the tires are flat or the seats are worn or the handlebars are worn, we can replace all those things, or they will do that in the country that receives them.
So good to note there, and you are looking for some extra hands to help out because there is a lot of labor involved.
Yeah, that would be great. We really have to prepare these bicycles for shipping, which means taking the pedals off and tying them to the handlebars, turning the handlebars sideways, and putting them in as closely as we can get them so that a shipping container can carry as many bikes as we can send.
All right, so a lot of good information, and people should definitely bring their bikes to donate. And speaking of which, we're going to tell them how they can do that now, Anna. So if you're interested in donating a bike or several bikes to Bikes for the World, you can bring them to the Evergreen Center located on Port Street in Easton on Sunday, April 21st from 11 in the morning until 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, folks, it's important to note they can't take the bikes any time before that, so you have to bring them the day of the donation. And as always, if you would like more information on Bikes for the World, any of the information we just mentioned, or to contact Anna if you'd like to help that day when collecting all the bikes, just go to our website, delmarvalife.com, and click on the show tab. So if you have bikes, you have 11 days to gather them together, bring them to Easton on the 21st. Jimmy and Lisa will send it back to you guys in the studio.
Will do.
Waiting to watch him right off in the sunset.
There you go.
Gorgeous day for bike. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I can't believe we actually hit 87 in some
87
places today. Probably
looking for ways to cool off.
Made you think of something like this.
That is a baby elephant. Take a look at him.
Now, this is somebody said something. Well, gosh, you'd think they'd give him a bigger swimming pool. That's actually a little drinking pond that they had. That he said, you know, that's water. I don't care. I'm getting in. Thank you very much.
Very adorable. Looks good on a day like today.
Now I want to go to the pool.
You better find a bigger one than that.
Yeah.
Well, still ahead on Delmarva Life, funny woman Molly Shannon. You may remember her as Mary Catherine Gallagher. She did that skit on Saturday Night Live. Or as Brenda Castle, who never failed to give Sue Sylvester a headache on Glee. Well, today she's talking about what might give you a headache.
A headache for drivers. Potholes, usually see more of them turn up on our roads after the winter months, and they can cost you a bundle of money if you damage your car driving through them. How your insurance company is likely to handle that claim.
And later, we're in the kitchen getting geared up for blue crab picking season, and there really is a right way and a wrong way to pick crabs. Some people think so. We're getting a lesson from the pros. Delmarva Life, we'll be right back.
Delmarva Life is brought to you by Sussex County Federal Credit Union, guiding you to your financial future. Peninsula Regional Medical Center, honored to serve the entire Delmarva Peninsula since 1897. Your local York and Mitsubishi dealers. And State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.